I thought I would do a quick video on a layout for the My Pink Stamper Challenge, color challenge this week. And the color challenge is using the colors orange, green, pink, and brown. And so I picked this cute 5x7 picture of my beautiful nieces to go ahead and do a layout of. I have everything ready to go. It's just going to be adhering it down. I figured I'd make this kind of a quicker video just to show you how I put it together. So like I said, this picture is 5x7 and it's put on a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock by Stampin Up. And I was trying to do some bordering around it and it didn't quite work out, and so I have a little bit of a mess up right here, but I didn't want to cut up another piece of paper to get a map when I could cover this up. So I did some white stitching along here. For the base of the layout, of 12x12 paper is Pretty in Pink by Stampin Up, and I went ahead and inked the edges, all my edges in brown. I did that ahead of time as well. I have these two pieces of a layer, and this is a pattern sticky strip or adhesive strip from the Paper Studio, and it has the pink and green in it, and I inked that in brown as well. And then this is a piece of chocolate chip cardstock, and I used the scallop trim border punch with this Stampin Up scallop trim border punch to make the edge of that. This is a piece of 8.5 by 11, and it's not gable green. I'm using my little cardstock reference to get the colors for you. It's green galore, and this is actually a retired Stampin Up color. And again, I inked the edges in brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and align it down here on the bottom. And to do that, I'm going to use my ATG 714 gun, and I actually painted it orange. So I'm just going to adhere this down right here to frame the bottom piece of my cardstock. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adhere this strip of the chocolate chip cardstock that I added the decorative border to this. Like I said, this is adhesive, so it's really kind of cool. And I'm going to leave a little bit of an edge of the brown, so I'm just going to line this up and have some of the actual piece of cardstock showing with the scallop trim border, and I knew that was going to happen. Okay, luckily it wasn't pressed down too bad, so if you can see that. And then I'm going to line this just right here off to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere my picture just kind of right up here in the upper left hand corner a little bit. And again, I'm going to use the ATG 714. So again, I'm just kind of aligning it up here in the upper left hand corner. And to cover up this little mistake here, I have this stamped image, and it says "Life is better when it's fun." It's from a stamp set from Cloud9 Designs called Simple Thoughts of Laughter. So I just stamped that on there on a piece of chocolate chip cardstock, and I used this EK Success border punch. Not border punch, I usually just use border punches. It's a ticket punch, and it has 3 different size punches that you can do that have the ticket corners cut out. And I'm going to use pop dots to pop that up above the picture. And these are my homemade pop dots that I use. I'm just going to cut off some squares on here. And I do have a video on how to make these. So if you check out the video section on my blog, you can see that video. So I'm just going to adhere these down, and I'm just going to put this kind of at an angle over that. Then it just says "Life is better when it's fun," and I stamped that in Craft Whisper White Stampin' Up ink. Now to tie in a little bit more orange is I took these Prima flowers that I got at Michael's. They were on clearance. I don't think they had them for very long, and so I just layered 3 of the different size flowers together. Then I put this pink button in the center, and then I also added some hemp to the button to kind of give it a stitched finish. I'm going to put this down here in this corner here, and to do that I'm going to go ahead and use some zip dry for it. My nozzle's clean. I notice if you put the lid right back on after you use it, it tends not to get clogged as much right here in the tip. So I'm just going to put some zip dry on this flower, on the back of this flower. You can use glue dots. You know, I just like to use a really strong adhesive, and I don't have any glue dots right now, so I'm just going to hold that down for just a second to kind of let it sit there and get my cap back on there. Now for the title of this page, I want to use one of my newer cartridges as well, because I feel like I should use them when I get them instead of putting them on the shelf and waiting for a little while. So I went ahead and used Create a Critter. Go ahead and use the phrase on page 47 that says Fab with the little cute zebra. And I just thought Fab was just cute for the page. And I already have this cut adhered. I cut it at 4 1/4 using just the regular base foundation key and chocolate chip, and then I shifted it and cut this out in Pretty in Pink. Now with the Pretty in Pink, I embossed it with the Bloom Dots Cuddle Bug embossing folder, and then inked that in orange, adhered it to my chocolate chip, and then I did some white faux stitching around the brown cardstock. And so I'm just going to adhere this to my layout, and I'm just using again my ATG 714. And I'm going to just adhere it right down here below the picture. It's kind of off. For my journaling, I went ahead and just cut a piece of 2 1/2 by 3 1/2, I believe. Oh, 2 1/4 by 3 1/4, excuse me. A piece of Whisper White cardstock. And I tied some pink ribbon with some brown stitching to the top of that. And did some orange stitching across that, and just wrote my journaling. And then I'm using a little Stampin' Up library clip and adhere this down with pop dots as well. So I'm just going to put this down here on this side, and I just have a couple more things that I'm going to add to the page. I have these cute little flower brads from Stampin' Up, and it's chocolate chip, Pretty in Pink, and pumpkin pie. So they coordinate really well with the page, and I'm going to go ahead and use my Crop-A-Dile to punch the holes in my layout. This is the Mega Bite, or the Big Bite, I guess I should say. And I'm just going to kind of go along just three holes right here, and I'm going to use the 1/8 inch, and I'm going to set this at 1 inch. On the Big Bite, you have a grid ruler that you can set this at, and your paper will stop at it so that you kind of have the same length. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm just going to punch them. Hopefully I can get them somewhat even spacing. If not, oh well. These in here. Oh, those aren't spaced too bad. Okay, so this is my finished layout for the My Pink Stamper Color Challenge, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.